Hello, second graders. If you have picked this video, that means you want to learn the cool measurement app on your iPad and kind of switch up your math. You might be getting a little bit bored with those Google Classroom assignments. You might want to do something different. So I'm glad you're here. What you're going to need is you're going to need your iPad, which you're probably using right now to watch this video. You're also going to need a notebook or a piece of paper because you're going to have to keep notes on what you measure, okay? So the very first thing I want you to do is if you don't have your notebook and writing utensil with you, I want you to pause the video, go get this, because I'm going to show you how to set up your assignment for today. All right, welcome back with your notebook and your pen or pencil or crayon or marker. That's the nice thing about working at home. I can't tell you to use a pencil. You can use what you want. All right, so the very first thing you're going to do is open up to a new piece of paper, and on this first part, you are going to write item. Item is spelled I-T-E-M. Just like that. So on the first line, you are writing item. All right, now you're going to want to make this space a little bit bigger because you're going to be writing down words right here, like whatever you're measuring. So you might be writing book or pencil or whatever you're writing. So you want to give yourself a little space to write that. So I'm going to draw my line. I think that should be enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I think this will be enough space. Almost to the center. Not quite though. The next thing you're going to write is estimate. An estimation is a guess. So when you estimate something, so that's how you spell it. So when you're estimating something, you are making an educated guess. So let's say if I'm estimating how long my, what is this? Staple remover. How long my staple remover is, I wouldn't say something like 4 feet because that's really long. I would say something like maybe like 2 inches. That would be an estimation, a guess. Now that being said, you want it to be close, but you can't really be wrong because it's just a guess, right? All right, so draw a line next to that. This is just going to be an amount, so you'll see that this section, oh my goodness, I can never do this. I always get backwards. Anyway, this section is a little bit thinner than this section, just because I won't have to write as much in that section. And lastly, you are going to write measurement. It's a long one. Just like that. While you're writing, I will talk just to give you a few extra seconds to write measurement. This is all going to be in inches. So remember, inches is the smallest, or one of the smallest ways you can measure. There's also something called centimeters, if you've not heard of that, which is another way. But in the United States, we use inches. So we're going to be measuring some of the items in our house that are smaller, okay? I am going to take a picture of this, so if you didn't get this all written down, don't worry. You can either pause the video or you can just check out the picture of this sheet on our Google assignment or our Google Classroom. The last thing you're going to do is you're going to be measuring 3 things, okay? So down the side, you might want to label it 1, 2, 3, just like that. All right, second grade, you can put your notebook off to the side because you will not need it anymore, and come with me so I can show you how to use this app. So I am going to be measuring things on my dry erase board just so you guys can see, but as I was practicing this, it is a little bit tricky to measure things up on the wall because my hands are so shaky. Maybe yours aren't, so you might be fine, but it might be easier for you to find items around the house that you can place on a table and measure that way, okay? So anything in your house you want to measure, you're going to get to measure with this assignment. And I am going to show you how now. So here is the app you are going to click on. It's this black app with the ruler. It's called Measure. It should be on your iPad already without going into self-service. If you do, for some reason you can't find it, you could check in self-service, but it should be on your iPad already. And what you're gonna see is you're gonna see a screen like this, a picture screen, and the most important button is this plus button. You are going to be pressing that when you get to the edge of your items. So I'm gonna show you how to do that with this magnet, and then I'm gonna do it again with another magnet. But remember, you can measure anything. Measure your toothbrush, measure your apple, measure your book, whatever you wanna measure, you're gonna measure, but these are things that were easy to show you on my screen. So that's why I'm only doing magnets. Now, once you get to your item, you're gonna see that circle with that little white dot in it. What you're gonna do is you need to bring that dot all the way to the edge of your item, okay? So I am bringing that white dot all the way to the edge because when you're measuring, you gotta go edge to edge, okay? Make sure you get as close to the edge as you possibly can. If it's a little off, it's okay. Just try your very best. Now, once you're happy and you think, okay, that's the edge of my item, you're gonna press that plus button I said. All right, just like that. Then I'm gonna bring it up. Oops, I must not have pressed it hard enough. Then it's gonna show a little yellow dot, okay? Then you're gonna bring that dot, that white dot, so you're moving your iPad all the way to the other edge, and you'll see a yellow line. That's like your ruler. It's measuring for you. Once you get to the other edge, you are going to press that plus button again. Now, my magnet was 3 inches, and how they have it on this app is like this. It'll say this. If it's 3 inches, it'll have those 2 slashes next to it. That just is another way to abbreviate inches. So we know that when we're writing our measurements, we need to write 3IN. This is just another way to do it. Honestly, if you want to do it like this, you think it's cool, that's fine. I'll know what it means. So as you can see, I already filled out my assignment sheet for the first measurement. I was measuring a magnet. I already estimated without you seeing that it was going to be 3 inches, and then I measured and it was 3 inches. Now I'm going to show you again with another magnet, and I'm going to show you how to do each and every step, okay? Since I already filled out number 1, number 2, I'm going to write down magnet again. Now remember, you can pick whatever you want to measure. Now, would you want to pick a door? Probably not, because you wouldn't use inches, and we're talking about inches again today. You would use feet for something like that because it's so big. So pick an item that is small enough to measure with inches, okay? Now I am going to measure, before I measure, it's really important to make your estimation. So I'm going to guess. I'm going to say that this magnet is a little bit bigger than my other magnet, so I'm going to say it's 4 inches, okay? So I'm going to write 4IN, just like that. Now the fun part is measuring. So I'm going to find that white dot. It might take you a second because the iPad might need to adjust a little bit. It says move the iPad to resume. So I'm moving it around. You just got to follow what the iPad tells you. I see that white dot. So I'm going to click on the very edge of that star as close as I can get to. And then I'm going to come all the way to the other side and press it. All right, so my next measurement of my next magnet says 3.5. So it looks like this. Now, you can literally write that down, or since we haven't talked about half inches, you can just round to the nearest spot. So 3.5 is pretty close to 3 inches. So I'm just going to erase that and write 3 inches in my notebook, just like that. So you don't need to worry about half inches, quarter inches, anything like that. Just go to the closest inch. All right, second grade, I hope you have fun with this measurement. I won't lie, I don't know if I already told you this, but Ms. Della showed me this app and she said she spent way too much time going around her house measuring. So I hope you enjoy it as much as she does. If you have any questions, join a Zoom session or send me a Google message and I will respond.